morning. Good morning, day 2. Good morning to all of the October opals celebrating their birthday week. Today's Musical Monday. Musical Monday. I had so much fun with this one, prepping for this one. Not for the reasons you would think. I'm not a big musical person. I know I love watching movies. I don't know what it is. I have a hard time following a storyline because when I listen to music, I think my brain is trained to think that a song tells a story or has a rhythm or has a pattern, and then it's concluded at the end. And I think when I listen to musicals, my mind doesn't put them all together as a storyline. It breaks it into individual pieces. That, and I think I've been thinking about it a lot. I think that a musical is probably enjoyed in person more than I enjoy watching it on TV, because I've never been to a live performance, musical performance, especially Broadway. Oh man, some of the costumes and stages and just all the effort and creativity that's put into putting on a production. I would probably love it in person. I live pretty close to San Francisco, and I know it's part of the circuit. I've never been. But it's funny how things come around. I have a friend through the magic of Facebook, and her daughter is in it's a group of littles who's in a production group, theatrical production group for kids, and it's called Poison Apple Productions. And recently, excuse me, good morning. Recently, she's posted a new production that they're putting together. They've done a few that I followed through Facebook and watched, little learning clips or putting little bits of costume together and stuff like that. Her daughter loves it and is absolutely adorable. Their newest one, I don't want to tell that part yet. I'd like to show something that I made for her to gift her for the holiday season. So the theatrical group is called Poison Apple Productions. This is the poisoned apple pattern. I can't say her name. She has a beautiful name. I can't say it. Svelana. It's Finia Toys, and I found this pattern on Ravelry and Etsy a few years ago. This was one of those original poisoned apple patterns. You can do it in any color. And then you cannot finish it if you didn't want to. I didn't do all the decreases. Just took on my second color. I did my blood, my ooze, my drippy ooze, and gave it a little apple tag basket. I did this little leaf style. Put a little strap on it. I think that she'll like it. I'm gonna gift it to her. The performance that they're getting ready to make, this was a fun technique. This was chaining random number and then doing a half double or a double crochet in the bottom, couple loops away from your starting chain, and then single crocheting, and it made this big blobby blob spot to it. That was a fun technique. I got my red heart glittery. I'm gonna give that to her. Their current performance that they are practicing is Little Shop of Horror. I know, Little Shop of Horror. So I needed to do some research. My family wasn't big on musicals, but I remember in 1986, we're going to refer to this as the 80s, my grandparents saw a new movie on HBO and we were going to watch it. I remember watching some of it. I remember there being big named stars in it, and my grandma turned it off. It wasn't her cup of tea, I guess. We didn't watch it. So later in life, I did go back and watch it out of curiosity. You know, why did she turn it off? I wanted to watch it. Later in life, I went back and I watched it. I don't remember if I watched the whole thing. It didn't have a huge impact on me. It was a movie. Take it or leave it. It was a movie. Well, in doing my research, thinking I don't have a real connection with any Broadway musicals, but I have a familiarity with Little Shop of Horror coming my direction two ways, a memory from the 80s and the little theatrical group. I'd watch it. So I started looking, 'tis the season, right, for horror movies and TV, and it came up. It was live. It's on, I think it was Amazon Prime that I found it. It might have been, I've been bouncing back and forth between Amazon Prime and Hulu lately. Yes, I've been bouncing back and forth. So one of those had it. I also watched Billy the Kid last night. That was good. I get sidetracked. So I watched the 1980s. Yeah. A very simple man works in a little flower shop, totally content with life. He falls in love with a beautiful girl. Beautiful girl's with somebody else temporarily. The movie's very much based on the relationship between the Seymour, the young man, and Audrey, the girl. Very much based on that. And then they go through and the plant. There's a little plant that now in that movie, in that version of the movie, I'm not sure exactly how the plant comes along, but in my research, I did go on YouTube and look up some theatrical performances, which I couldn't find a whole length one. I did find clips and versions throughout the story, and like I said, if it was in person, I probably would have enjoyed it, especially all the creativity that goes into it. But in fumbling along, when I was looking for the theatrical version of it, I went to a streaming service called Tubi, Tubi. And in 1960, there's a black and white original version of Little Shop of Horrors. Well, it was incredible. I really liked it. Technically, I don't know if it fits into Musical Monday because I don't remember there being any songs at all. Oh no! But wait. So the movie starts out as this simple guy who's taking care of his hypochondriac mother who, I don't want to give it all away. There are some hilarious jokes between mom and son, between her thinking she's got this or she's got that, and he loves her so much that whatever her ailment or whatever her concern, he is a doting son. And there is a very strong relationship that they build between the two of them. And her cooking style is absolutely hilarious. She's very much into therapeutic everything. So everything has a purpose, a medical purpose. And if it doesn't, what is it for? I don't want to give away too much. Please go watch it. 1960s Tubi. It's incredible. And then the relationship starts building so that it shows his relationship with his boss, the owner of the florist shop. He's a bit clumsy and he gets things wrong. Well, that's going to lead him to get fired. But in his saving grace, he has mixed 2 different species of plants that has made this incredible little plant. But it's not so healthy. It's not doing so great. It was, and then it's not. He names her Audrey Jr. Audrey 2. Isn't she precious? She's so innocent. And this plant will save his job. It'll save the shop. The shopkeeper is very greedy and wants a lot of money. And they show his relationship with the owner. And then they show his relationship with a very beautiful girl. They also spend quite a bit of time showing the relation. The movie is only a little over an hour long. Shows a very deep relationship between him and his creation, who says very, very little words. The plant has a very, very gruff voice, and it's very simple lined. Feed me. Feed me. I'm hungry. Very demanding, very gruff. And he does end up pricking his finger, and a drop of blood gets into the plant's mouth. The plant is being grown in a coffee can, and I believe when he's transporting the plant, he gets a little cut on his finger and the plant gets a little blood. Coincidentally, the next day, the plant is grown. The plant is beautiful, it's thriving, and his boss sees how gorgeous this plant is. I did my little drips from the poison apple inspired. I found a YouTube video on dandelion leaves, and I thought they had a nice rugged bit to it. I crocheted over some florist wire so that these are opposable, so I could give them like an arm shape to it, a reaching out, a 3-dimensional shape to it. I did some little hosta leaves across the top. I just did 3 to break up this green topper that I did. I did a Bag O' Day crochet maple leaf. Here's the back side of it. And I used the stem to pull through the hole in the middle of the topper so that I could arrange just the right background. I did, these are just some single crochet, because she's got a lot of long ivy pieces that reach out and beg to be fed. And then this little head, which might look familiar, is the same one I found on YouTube to do the stitch tutorial, the amigurumi stitch tutorial. And what else did I use that little open mouth head for? It's incredible. So you make a circle, and then you stitch along the back side of it, so it does have a bit of a wedge, a natural wedge shape to it, so it doesn't just try to flip open each time. You start with the top of the head and you work down. Working in back loops gives you this nice little gum line. You change color when you connect them, and so she's got like a fading. I used some variegated embroidery thread to do her head, so it did like some dark lip colors, and she's got teeth. She's got teeth. I used some silver puff paint, and she doesn't have any eyes. No eyes. I stuffed her with a fishing weight in the bottom of this tiny little terracotta pot so that she's bottom heavy. I don't want her flipping over. So the owner of the pet shop starts catching on. Why are your fingers all bandaged? And then he sees, so in the 1960s version, Seymour is actually feeding Audrey Jr. a leg or a hand, and they use comical pieces, and they're feeding the bloody limb into, it's all black and white, feeding the bloody limb into the plant and the shop owner. So the shop owner takes it on as his responsibility to make sure that, like, it's on his conscience now. He saw it. He is not liking this. So they start talking, and they figure out that between the two plants that were crossed, plant feeds a Venus flytrap, supposedly feeds, according to Hollywood, feeds 3 times in its life to become full grown. So they're like, okay, well, that was 1, this is 2, and then I don't quite remember. She doesn't stop at 3, I don't think. The 1960s version was my favorite. So there's some evil characters that pop up. The girl's got an evil boyfriend, and there's a dentist that, you know what, maybe that's where childhood dentist fears come from. He's evil. The dentist actually enjoys inflicting pain. So, chomp chomp. In both versions, the 80s and the 60s version. In the 80s version, the shop owner gets munched. In the 60s version, he does not. In the 60s version, it draws a lot of attention. And they do mention Southern California in the 60s version. They live in a, they don't call it a slum or a ghetto. They call it a lower housing area. Lower value housing. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. In the 60s version, Seymour says enough is enough and this is terrible, and they're going to present him an award, and the woman of the Silent Plant Society, who she's got some hilarious jokes on being silent too. Somebody asked her opinion, and I neither have an opinion nor do I not have an opinion. Very high class. They're going to present an award for this amazing new plant. And the woman from the society notices that there's some little buds, and she says, when are those going to open? And Seymour tells her at night. They're going to open the next night at dusk. And so, okay, well, we'll present your award then, and if they're not open, then we're not going to present your award then. We'll wait. We'll have to wait. And he's thinking, oh, if we wait, she's going to want to eat again, and it's going to go on and on. So something happens before the woman comes for the award, to present the award. And when they come to present the award, the buds start opening. And in the 1960s version, and all these buds are the faces that the homicide investigator has been investigating this through the whole story. And the last one that opens is Seymour. I know. I know. I really enjoyed the 1960s version of the movie. The 80s movie was funny. They used a lot of big names. There's music, so it counts as a musical, right? I enjoyed this project a lot. Each step of the way, like finding different patterns and combinations and embroidery thread colors, and just, I knew I needed a little pot. At first, I was trying to figure out how to make a miniature coffee can, which in both versions, he starts her in a little coffee can. She quickly outgrows her coffee can. But I couldn't figure out how. I looked in little dollhouse sections of the hobby stores, and I just, Michael's didn't have much. They're more like children's missions projects kind of I couldn't find a little coffee can. And I was trying to think of how to crochet one and how to work with one, but come on, people, we're on a time schedule. We need to purchase some bits of it to help so we could spend time on the rest of it. She's my favorite. I'm really, really considering, because I've been thinking about entering the fair. What do you think? Do you think Audrey Jr. would do good at the fair? I did. It's got a lot of concept pieces. It shows a lot of different crochet techniques. And she's cute. Look how innocent she is. Of course, if she was for sale without the blood and you saw her in a little pet shop, would you not take her home? I'd take her home and then totally regret it. But I do not regret creating her. And I think she's going to be absolutely adorable in my new crochet display case. And I am going to seriously consider taking her to fair. Because she's fun. Because she's cute. I am going to put some information in the description box below. 1960s Tubi. I think I wrote down where I found, I think it was actually, it might have been live on Comcast Xfinity. I think it's the season. And that's it. Tomorrow's Wednesday. There is fun planned for Wednesday. And I will be back to show you what I've made. I'm really having fun watching all the videos that have been posted on the hashtag October Opals, BW, birthday week, Spirit 2023. I might have gotten that wrong. It's going to be in blue writing underneath the title of this video. Musical Monday. Thank you for coming to visit with me. I'm enjoying participating and we have a lot more fun. This is just day 2. This is just the beginning. Come back and see me tomorrow. See what I've been working on. See, I told you guys I was working on stuff last week when I kept showing the same old project that was lingering. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. I hope you get tangled up in yarn today. Take care.